What's going on, guys? Jim Hall Rebels here,
Jim
episode
Hall,
8.
Jim Hall Rebels, what's good?
Hey, what's up? So today there's only two of us, as you could probably see, and we're
Yep.
also on a Zoom call due
Zoom.
to the ongoing situation right now with the pandemic. We thought it would be safer to call over Zoom instead of all being together. Hopefully, we can get back to it soon, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, Andrew and Luca are off. Andrew's taking a mental health day, so that's going to be. We're going to get into that subject today. So today is going to be more of a serious tone.
Yeah.
Um, but we have a few shout outs. We have a question. We have our first question that we're going to be putting
First
on today.
question. Thank
Let's
you.
go.
So this is going out to my personal buddy Matthew Neems. Neems, what's going on? So Matthew asked technological mishaps we've had. So anything technical we've had, whether it's like microphones, cameras, like anything. So I think it's pretty safe to say uh, with this whole podcast, it's been technological mishaps from getting all of our microphones to sync into one computer to getting all of our cameras to record without stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They probably see it in the background. Like you could probably put a clip up, but you can probably see us most of the time getting up and like checking
Yeah,
the camera. Just
Andrew walking up and just getting you
yeah,
have a seat just like, oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah.
But
It's just because
that
our cameras don't record long enough, so we have to
no.
keep like
We're
so.
making do with what we have, so yeah, bear with us guys.
Yeah. So
Um Yeah,
yeah.
that microphones as well, just making sure that the audio is crisp and clear and that I get everyone's audio. Um just also, you know what too, editing. Remember remember your hard drive? It was
Oh my
acting
god.
up. We almost
Oh
lost. I think it was episode 4 we almost lost, which is like our greatest one. It
yeah.
was either
My
episode 4 or episode 5. We
yeah.
almost
My
lost
hard
that one.
drive like now. So now I have to like plug it in, wait like 20 minutes for it to pop up, and I can't put anything into the hard drive. So I have to start moving everything out.
Yeah.
I was in the process of that, but it takes too long, so I kind of just given up on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, honestly, and like, do you remember with your the microphones? Have you had them all set up, good to go, and then one of them unplugged or fell out, and then
Yeah,
they all
no, no,
got
no, no. It was we were all set to go, and then the table. It was Luke and Andrew's table. It fell apart, and then all the mics just went,
yeah,
and then it just disconnected. I was like,
yeah.
what the?
You had to set it all up again.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah. So today, like I said, is probably going to be more of a serious tone. Um, like we want to talk about like mental health and kind of like the experiences we've gone through throughout the years, because you know, not everyone's life is perfect and always happy and stuff like that, right? So
yeah.
um yeah, so I think I can if you do, you want to start or do you want me to start?
If you could you start just so I can gather like all, I guess, my thoughts and my stories and stuff like that.
Okay,
If you're ready.
yeah, so unfortunately, like most people, like I struggle with anxiety and depression, and like it's it goes back to like even high school, where in grade 9 and grade 10, like I didn't really like value myself, like I didn't like really feel like I wanted to like live.
Yeah.
So but um like it was tough because like my mom suffers from it. Like
Hmm.
when she lost her mom, like she still feels it today.
Yeah.
So like there's just so much stuff that's like happening like with us, like only being the five of us with my mom, like no really father figure there. And like it was kind of tough. So like all of us kind of go through it, and it doesn't always happen all the time, right? Like sometimes like you one day you'll feel okay, the next day like you just like you can't even get out of bed. And
Yeah.
like I couldn't even get out of bed half like in grade 9 and grade 10, like I didn't even want to go to school. I couldn't even go to school because like it was just couldn't get out of bed,
Yeah.
right? um but so going into like high school, I met somebody and like we started going out, like we started dating for 2 years.
Hmm.
And like of course it's high school where you think it's going to be like forever, you're going to get married and
Oh
all that
yeah.
stuff like that, like you start talking like all that stuff. But
Yep.
so basically like that was my first relationship. and like I'll admit like I was like mad overprotective and like mad jealous of everything.
Hmm.
So yeah, so like the relationship like started like deteriorating, and eventually we went on break, but like I tried like super hard to like change and like to get back into like that's like back into the relationship.
Yeah.
But like I didn't realize like what I didn't realize was that this person was already moving on.
Hmm.
So like that that hit me hard. And like when it was final, like I was in like the worst state. I'm sure you guys remember how I
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Like I didn't eat, like I didn't sleep, like I
You
didn't
know,
talk to anybody, like I couldn't do nothing.
yeah, it was scary. I remember your mom like had to message me because she didn't know what to do. Like you weren't eating, you weren't sleeping, like you were just you like in your room, and I was like, I don't like, man, yeah, it was a scary time. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Yeah,
I can't imagine like personally what you were going through. Like all I just had to do was just like sit there and just be a good friend, you
yeah.
know.
Like I sat there and like I blamed myself for everything, and
Yeah.
like I didn't think I was like good enough. Like I felt like I wasn't gonna do anything, like
Yeah.
because like one of the things that that was like said to me was like I can't be with somebody who doesn't like who's not thinking about their future, and I was like, and like that hit me hard, and I was
Yeah.
like I know like I did like it wasn't that I wasn't trying to figure out a future, it's like I just didn't know what I wanted to get into, right?
Yeah.
So it made me feel even worse, like it made me feel like I didn't want to fucking live, like you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I and like everybody's like people try to like you know like you guys tried to help me and support me and like but yeah, so it was tough going through that, and like but like the positive side to that is like yeah, it sounds like a really bad time, and like but I learned to like grow, and like
Hmm.
I became a completely different person. Like I went to school, right? Like I went to school for photography. Like I graduated. Like I graduate from there. It's another story, but um, so went to school, and then I had a couple opportunities for photography. You know, like a lot of people liked my work. I got featured in the newspaper for one of my photos, and
Yeah.
I kind of just like I focused on myself, and like I learned from that, and like what I learned from that is to be like a better person in the relationship, and like not to depend on one person to make you happy. Like if you're the only person that can make you truly happy is yourself,
Yeah.
and like that's what I learned through that. I'm like I you can have other people that make you happy,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, like you have to be happy with yourself. And that's the one
Exactly.
thing that was the one thing that I learned in a relationship is that if you aren't happy with yourself, like you can't be happy with any like another person. And
Yeah.
that's the reality is like if you're not happy with yourself and then you get into a relationship with somebody and you depend on them to be like your happiness, it's just too much for it's just too much. Like you have to be happy on your own.
Yeah.
And like that's the one thing that I learned was but like now like you know I moved, like I'm out, I have a good job, I have like I'm all moved out, I have my own car, you know, I have Audrey, like Audrey and I are going strong together for almost 3 years now,
Yeah.
and yeah, like and it taught me to be a better person. Like I'm more like laid back, like I got a lot more trust, I'm not
Yeah.
like overprotective, and like yeah, like it's completely it's a complete like 180 from like it so like at the end of the day is like in a way I gotta thank the person
Yeah.
for you know that, because if it wasn't for them then I wouldn't have learned,
Yeah.
right? So it's like a lesson learned, but I
Hmm.
learned the hard way, I guess. But like at the end of the day, like I said to that person, like thank you, because if it wasn't for them then I wouldn't know what it like I wouldn't know what it would be like to be in a proper relationship, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't know how to. So that is like some of like going through high school was like the worst part was for me. But
Yeah.
um like nowadays, like I said, like it's like some days I'll have good days, and like some days I can't even get out of bed.
Yeah.
Some days I'll be just sitting in the room and like I just
Hmm.
start breaking down, like start like and this like sometimes there's a one certain song that starts playing, and
Yeah.
like it like I think about everything. Like I think about like my old friends from elementary school, like that I used to talk to that don't talk to me no more. Like we don't talk. Like I think about just being a kid, just
Oh
growing
yeah.
up, and then and like it's tough because like I always wonder like where these people are, and like you know what I mean. Like it sucks that like I had this like this whole world that I thought would stay with me forever,
Yeah.
but like it's not. Like these like people leave your life, and it's just it sucks. Like because like I said, like you'll be just having a good day or whatever, then all of a sudden like it hits you like a truck.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So like I said, like it's it's hard, and like even like with this going on right now with this pandemic going on, like it's even worse because now people uh can't really see each other as often, and like they're confined to small like their own rooms. And even with this right now with the Zoom call, like it sucks. Like nothing is the way it used to be.
No.
And
Like,
that's
sorry to cut you off. Like
no, it's
the
okay.
the day that, like, if it ever happens, like the day that, like, the no mask law comes into play, we don't got like get we don't have to wear a mask anymore. That's gonna feel so weird. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna be like,
like
oh, I forgot my mask, and then oh, we don't have to wear them anymore. Like it's gonna feel
yeah.
so weird.
So that's 100% playing a factor these days too. Is that like it's hard to see a lot of people, and you know what I mean. So it's just it hits hard. Like
Hmm.
it sucks. Like it's just everything that's like with all the stuff going on in the world right now, like it's not helping, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's pretty much most of like what's like with me, like my situation.
Okay.
But like I said, like it's a lesson learned. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and it's hard. And the one thing that I learned from when I talked to a therapist,
Yeah.
he said to me, like I'll always remember this. She's like, anytime you feel like low, she's like, get a notebook or whatever and like write down all the positive things you have in your life right now. So like whenever I feel like upset, like I think to myself, like I have a roof over my head,
Yeah.
like I have my family, I have my friends, you know, like I have my job, like I'm good at photography, and like you just kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what kind of helps me get through stuff. Like at the end of the day, it's like I'll be upset because like, oh, like this person has like a better house than me, this person, but then I think to myself, like at least I have a house.
Yeah.
Like at least I have a roof over my head. At least I have that the comfort of a home.
Hmm.
Like at least I have a car. Like at least I have my work, like my job. Like at least I have my family. And like my family, like I said, is not a lot just because it's just me and my mom and my siblings,
Yeah.
and like our outside family, like we don't talk, right? So that's why like it's even harder for everybody because that's all we have.
Yeah.
So but I try to think like I have my family, I have my friends, I have Audrey, like I have people who love me, right? So that's where I kind of like try to process that when I'm in my low. But yeah, like it's tough.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not it's not something, it's not easy to go through.
No.
Like anybody who's going through that, like just know that like there's people out there that love you, and like you reach out to them. Like it's not a burden, because that's what I always used to feel like, that I was a burden messaging people when I was
Yeah.
like, because like I don't know, I just feel like people were like, oh, like he's this again, like don't be sad. Like it's not like that. It's completely different
Hmm.
than just being just sad. Like you
Yeah.
don't feel worth it. You don't feel happy. Like you don't feel like anything. So it's not something as like don't be sad.
Yeah.
So like, but like I said, if there's anybody who's listening, like if you need to reach out, obviously, like reach out to someone, because there's always someone there that's gonna listen.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I've noticed it with you too. If you want to talk about your story.
Yeah. I don't even know where to begin. It's so there's so much. So Okay, you know what? I'll start with this. So pretty much, for like years, going back to like high school, I've always dealt with like serious anxiety, and it's anxiety to the point where like you can't you can't move, like you freeze up, you tense up. So say it could be like, for example, it could be like two people fighting and yelling, and my body doesn't know how to react, so it just freezes up. Like you can't move. Like if you
Yeah.
were to, if you were to like, I don't know, even if someone like if someone's yelling at me, like I tense up and just brain out. Like I don't know what to think. I don't know how, like what to say. Like I'm trying to process the situation, and um I dealt with that like for years, and even like high anxiety where um it feels like, I don't know, like it feels like somebody's like has a gun to your head, and you have like 5 seconds to choose the right answer, or else you're gonna die. Like it's that bad. Um I don't know. Also too, like over the years, like just dealing with like insecurities, and um just thinking low of myself, that like I won't, like everyone's better than me. Like I'd always walk around in high school thinking like, oh well, that person's better than me because I don't know, like they get higher grades, or that person's better than me because they're in a relationship, not knowing that like, we're just in high school, like, and nobody's better than anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So but like back then I was just like, man, I'm like, I have nothing, you know what I mean? Like I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't like, so I would always just walk around with just like this insecurity over my head. Um, yeah. And then, early last year, actually, no, like late December 2020, going into last year, 2021, I went through like a serious, serious depression. And the thing about it was like everybody noticed it, and I was trying to hide it. And the thing with me is like I can't hide how I look. So if I
Yeah.
look upset, like you already know this. Like if I look sad, you
Yeah.
come up to me like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Oh, trust
nothing's
me, I
wrong."
notice
You're like,
everything.
you're like, "Oh, Quad, like shut up. Like what's wrong?"
Yeah, I notice
So
everything. Trust
yeah,
me.
yeah. So same thing with my mom, but um, yeah. So pretty much, I was going through like depression and just dealing with like my own like thoughts, and it got to the point where like I was so scared of like my thoughts that I couldn't I couldn't eat, I couldn't like talk to anybody. Like I honestly, like the way that I looked and walked, because I was so weak not eating, I looked like a drunk person, like legit. Like
Yeah.
I was just stumbling. I wasn't aware of my surroundings. I was bumping into stuff. Um, I lost a lot of weight. So like my cheekbones, like you could literally see like they were just bones. Like
Oh, trust me.
it was that
Um,
scary.
the one thing I noticed was for your birthday when we came over,
Yeah.
and like you had the Mary Browns, and it's funny I mentioned that because like that you always talk about Mary Browns, how like good it is, and like you love
Yeah.
eat, and like we sat there and ate, and you ate half a burger and didn't even
Yeah.
touch it.
And that's the thing, when you lose weight, like your stomach like shrinks. So the
Yeah, you
amount
have
of
no
food I was
appetite.
able to consume, it was very little. Like I'd be lucky to even drink um water throughout the whole day. Like my mom had to
Yeah.
make sure like I was drinking something, or at least eating something. And then on top of that, like going to my last job was even harder. Like it literally felt like every day, and it's ironic because it's only 2 seconds away from my house, but every day going there like felt like I was carrying like a boulder behind my back. Like it just felt like
Yeah.
a struggle to go to work. And then when people at work are asking you like, oh, what's wrong, and you're just like, I don't want to talk to you. Like go away. Like just leave me alone. Like I just didn't want to talk to anybody. um I just wanted to clock in and clock out. And even then, it always felt like a mission to just clock in and clock out. And then when I got home, like I just didn't, I was just scared. Like I was just
Yeah.
anxious, scared. I felt like everything was gonna go, like I felt like I was just losing everything.
Yeah.
Until a couple months after, because I didn't know what was going on. Like like I was saying, like I had like a thought problem. Like thoughts weren't going away. No matter how far I tried to push them, and I found out that I actually deal with um, OCD. So people that think like, oh, because some people will say, oh, I have it too, and I have it too, but people get misinterpreted with the term OCD. People think with OCD that like you always are a neat freak and that you always have to have things a certain way, where in reality OCD is having like intrusive, disturbing thoughts that just keep obsessing about and you can't get out of your head. So you try to do things to relieve the stress or to like reassure that those things aren't going to happen. So like there's like, and the thing like OCD is a subset, so there's different things under that. So like OCD you can have, so like for example, the typical like washing your hands all the time because you don't think they're clean.
That's me.
Exactly.
All the time.
So what happens is people with that will always wash their hands, and then after they wash their hands, something will pop in their hand. They're like, no, you can infect somebody. You didn't wash your hands properly. So that's why they always keep going back washing their hands. And the thing is that it doesn't make sense to the person, but they have to do it because they feel like it's going to do something. So people have that. People have OCD, where they think they're going to harm somebody, so they stay away from people. People have OCD about their sexual orientation, so they one day might think that they'll turn into the opposite, like they'll go and like the same sex rather than opposite, or the same thing like with gay people, they think that they'll like the opposite sex and they won't like the same sex. And yeah, there's just so many like subsets of OCD that can scare a person. It's pretty much a fear that you have and you keep obsessing about. So that's what happened with me, where I would obsess about certain things and think they were actually going to happen, and I wouldn't want to come out of my room, and I would just be curled up. I'd be curled up in my room thinking like something was going to happen. So that's why it was hard for me to go to work, because I thought something just was going to happen. And the thing is with people with OCD, like you're always having thoughts all the time. So even when you're talking to people, a thought will pop into your head and you have to try not to engage with the thought. But like sometimes it gets so, it just gets so powerful to the point where like you have to leave and you get anxious, which has happened to me. Like I've had to leave sometimes like a room and just calm myself down. So so I've over these past few months, I've actually been proud of myself, because looking back at like pictures now of how, like, you know, the term like step outside of yourself and look inwards, pretty much. So pretty much I've been able to look outside of my 2021 self and see how I was acting, and just I'm not the same person, I guess, back then that I am now. So just seeing the progress that I've been able to do, and just, you know, taking one day at a time. So yeah, I'm pretty proud with myself. There's still a lot of rough days where thoughts pop up, but it's not as bad as how it was when it first started, and I felt like I was going insane.
Yeah, because like the one thing I noticed too, like the two major things that I noticed, the two things that I noticed the most with you when I knew something was up was like in our group chat, like you never said a word.
Yeah.
And like we would ask to hang out, and you would like be like, guys, I can't today, sorry, like, hey, whatever. And like I knew from that point something was up. And then like going back to your birthday, like when I bought you your shirt and you put it on and it looked like way too big for you, but it was the size that you told me to like, you told me what size it was.
It was a large,
that's when I knew.
I think, and I usually wear a large, and like I looked like I was like fitting a small.
Yeah, it was like baggy on you. And then when I left the house, I said to Andrew and like to Luke, I'm like, did you guys notice how big that shirt looked on Oakwan? And they're like, yeah, like we noticed that, because like it was a large shirt. It was the size that you told me to get. I'm like, why it look so big? Then I realized like it wasn't the shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I knew something was up, right? Like I knew, and like it was hard, because like I would try to talk to you about it, but like, you know what I mean? Like it's not something that everyone wants to like openly talk about.
Yeah, but it's hard though, because like you just don't know. Well, at that time too, I just didn't know how to explain it, because like I don't know. It was just like, well, how do you explain like your thoughts to like your friends? And then it's just like, I don't know. There's so many things. And then with OCD as well, like the thing that people have to understand with OCD is that it'll try to make you doubt like what you like. So like there would be certain things that, like, you know me, you know I like video games, I like to DJ, I love music. So I'd be listening to it, and the feeling I would get like when listening to certain things, like it would just be gone. Like it was just mute, and it scared the living crap out of me. Like I didn't
Yeah.
know how to like come to grips with that. And then watching my favorite movies, like it just felt weird. Like everything that I did just felt like blank. Like I had no emotion. People that, you know, would always make me happy, like not to be rude, like you guys being my friends, like it just felt
Yeah.
mute. Like hanging out was just like, what's the point? Like I'd not.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it just wants to keep you stuck in a loop. And it's like the way to break out of that loop is to do the opposite, is to do those things even though you don't feel happy, or you don't feel like in the brightest of moods. So yeah, I kind of learned how to do that, and then eventually it kind of just went it's still there, but it just went away. It kind of lost its power. So I found things to do. I found new hobbies. Like I think you've seen it. Like I collect film now, so I have like my film projectors and stuff like that to keep me occupied.
Yeah.
I think also too, had it not been for this podcast as well, I think I think it would have been worse, because this podcast has honestly been able to kind of like bring my shine, like my I guess my positivity and like my energy out,
Yeah.
and just keep me occupied as well. So yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that, like with this podcast too, like this podcast like really helps us too, because like the fact that we get so much like positivity from other people, and
Yeah.
the fact that everyone's always asking like when's the next episode, like I like that's something that like I can't thank people enough for that, because it's like I never expected people to you know watch this every single week and like enjoy it as much as they have.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have people asking us like constantly and actually watching them, like that's amazing to me. And like that's
Yeah.
something that like I didn't expect, right? And like I said, like there's people that I don't really even know about that know that we have a podcast and like listen to it
Exactly.
and talk to us about it. So it's like it's like I'm really thankful for this. Like I'm really like I'm thankful for like you guys, because you guys have been there from the start in high school.
Yeah.
And like I don't think I could ever see myself doing this with anybody else besides you guys.
Nah,
So
even if we tried to, it wouldn't feel the same.
yeah.
It would not
So
feel the same.
like I said, when you're going through stuff, and like it's not an easy hole to come out of. Like you go so deep down that it's just you don't feel like you're gonna come out. But
Yeah.
you have people there that like are like waiting to pull you out. And like it's really tough to think about that, but it's true. Like, you know, I have people that like tell me like they don't want to live, like they, you know what I mean, like, it's not worth something. Like, but like what do you
Yeah.
like, and like but like how do you think your parents would feel? Like how do you think your friends would feel? Like how do you think, you know what I mean, like you have people around you that would like it would impact them. And
Yeah.
even if you don't think it would, like it will, like it'll impact them more than you think.
Yeah.
And that's what I told myself in high school, was like, okay, like if I did this, like who would be upset? And I'm like, there's five of us, like as siblings, like, and if I, you know, four other, like if there's at the end of the day, like if I did something, then four of them would be missing me. My mom would miss me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you guys would miss me. And I'm like, I can't do that to you guys. Like I would
Yeah.
never do
Yeah.
that to you guys. I wouldn't want to put you guys through that kind of thing, right? Like, so that's what got me through high school, was just like surround yourself with people that care about you. Surround yourself with people who are positive, like about you. You know, you got your family, and like you'll get through the tough times. There's always someone to reach out to.
Yeah.
Like I think like that's the one thing I can't stress enough, is that there are people out there that like are willing to, you know, give you a hand. Like there's not a single person in the world that's going to ignore you. You have people there that are there to reach a helping hand to you. And that's what your friends are for. That's what your
Yeah.
family's for.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's why like I notice everything, right? Like I notice you guys. I know when you guys are having a bad day. Like I know you guys when you guys are having, like you guys are stressed out. And like the thing with me is if you guys notice, like I mask my like sadness with like anger.
Yep.
So I will be so angry the entire day, and then I'll go home and like I feel like crying. Like there was one day at work where like I was going through some shit and I was like angry all day. Like I was
Yeah.
angry all fucking day, like yelling at people and whatever. Like at my last job, and then my
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, and then my one coworker was like what's going on? Like what's wrong? And then I stopped, and I just started fucking crying. I couldn't, cause I was trying to explain to her what was going on, and I started crying.
Yeah.
So like that's my problem is I mask my sadness with anger.
Yeah.
Like I keep it to myself. Like I bottle it all up, and then there's one day I just release. It's good. It's not healthy. Like it's not
No,
healthy.
it's not.
That's why like it's as simple as someone saying like, "Hey, like talk to me. What's going on?" And then that's when you can release it, and like they're there to help you. Never
Yeah.
keep your stuff bottled up because
No.
it's not gonna help you. It's not healthy to do that. And like I said, people are there to listen,
Hmm.
right? So anybody who's going through, like I said, anybody who's going through stuff, like just know, like even if you don't know who we are, like we'll listen. If you want to talk to us, like you can talk to us about it
Yeah.
because it's not easy. It's not easy to just openly admit something like that. Like you don't want to believe yourself that you're going through that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to believe that I had depression, right? But it
Well,
just happens.
the thing is like, I think that we go through it so much that we don't even know it's depression. I think we just think it's normal, like to
Yeah.
feel that way. Because even with me, like I just thought it was normal, to be anxious. I was like, doesn't everyone feel like this? And I'm like it got to the point because I get like super. I'm not a confrontational guy, so like if a fight were to occur and someone started yelling at me, I'm not even gonna lie, I probably would just freeze up and just not say anything, just because anxiety with me gets so intense or I freeze up, like I said before. But then there's other people where I see they stand up for themselves and they hold their ground, and I'm like, how do I become that? Like, how is he not scared? But that's when I realized, like, yeah, it's anxiety and depression. Like,
And
it's
not everything is gonna be like I said, like not everything you have to fight. Like I know people like will stand up for themselves and they'll fight people,
mm-hmm.
right? But it's not
Yeah.
about like it's not about always winning a fight. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
it's better to if someone's like in your face, someone's like yelling and stuff like that. It's better to be more civilized
Yeah.
than to kind of like agitate it more.
Yeah.
And like even if you guys like say there's a confrontation, I remember in high school all the time too was like if you lost a fight, if you lost a fight, like say you didn't want to fight somebody, you get made fun of, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not that's not how it works. Like you're not a lesser person because you walk away.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
if you need to walk away, you walk away, right? Don't let anybody think, you want to fight him because you're a coward. It's like no, like I'm not like I'm gonna walk away. I'll be the bigger person.
Not even that. It's that, but also too, like, I feel like you should always walk away, because with me personally, like, I would hate to do something I'd regret in the long run. Because like
Yeah,
sometimes people just have that temper where like if you push them off the edge, like you go, and that's one thing too that with me is that like you already know I'm a nice guy. Like there's sometimes where you tell me like, yo, don't let people like push you and tell you what to do and stuff like that. But
yeah,
like if you push me off the edge way too much, there's an anger that just comes out that it scares me, and it gives me more, like, to the point your hands start shaking. It's like the
yeah.
Hulk. Like you just like, what the hell? It's like, what the hell?
Do you turn green?
No,
Oh,
I'm still black, um, but I'm just like, damn, like I didn't know I had this in me, but it's just like I don't want anybody to see that. It's
yeah,
scary. It's scary, but
yeah. You don't want to get pushed to the edge, right?
exactly, yeah.
And but yeah, it's. I don't think a lot of people understand what it's like for that. Like,
Hmm.
there's just people who are confrontational like that. People who just don't want to be that. Like, they don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I don't like I don't like confrontation,
No.
right? Like I try to be like the peacemaker, or I'll be like, I try to be like the nice guy. Like I don't want to be like, I don't like to fight people. I
Yeah.
don't like fighting with people, right?
Yeah.
I like to get along with people. And not every person's gonna be, the same way.
No.
But like, don't even let it bother you. At that point, just walk away. Like if you can't please everybody,
Yeah.
right? So like that's one thing that people think that they need to do. It's like, no, you don't have to do that. Like just if you have the people that if you have your friends, you have your family, like the people that love you, then you don't need to please everybody.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I learned, like I said, and one thing I learned in high school too, was that can't please everybody. Not everyone's gonna like you. People won't like you, but don't beat yourself up for that. Like don't let that bother you, right? At the end of the day, you know who your friends are. You know who your real friends are. You know who your real family is.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like I said, that's something that you should never let bother you.
Hmm.
And like I said, like that's what I've learned. Like I have you guys, I have Audrey, I have my family. Like I don't need anything else. I don't need, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't need more. Like as long as I have like my group of people that I know, then that's all you really need.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I said, like talk to people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? One thing I want you to learn yourself is to talk to people, because that's one thing that you didn't do, is you didn't talk to us.
Yeah, that's true.
So like I said, uh reach a helping hand. Like I know, I from experience, I know what you went through. I've gone through
Uh-huh.
the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So like you're gonna have off days, and off days are the worst, but you have people to help you get through those days.
Hmm.
Sometimes you don't want to talk to people at all, and that's okay. But like never suffer alone. Like never suffer in silence. If you need a day off to be by yourself, then be by yourself. But don't shut yourself from the world every single day. When people
Yeah.
try to reach out to you, don't shut people out like that,
Hmm.
because you never know who's going through the same thing. Like
Yeah, exactly.
it's funny because people who are probably gonna listen to this, like this episode, is probably gonna be like, oh, but you always seem like such a happy guy. Like like I
Yeah.
never, like, you know what I mean? Like you seem like, but like the thing is there's a couple quotes that I remember, and it's like the people who joke the most and are like the most positive, like people around other people, are usually the ones who are going through the most.
Damn, that's the Catherine's probably watching this, like, because I always make her laugh. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's funny because I always make people laugh, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're so funny," and that's so true because look
yeah,
at Robin Williams.
yeah,
He made
right,
everybody laugh and happy except himself.
yeah.
Yeah,
So like I said, like exactly, right? So that's one thing that I've learned. So like the most positive people out there are probably the ones going through the most,
yeah,
and like no one will ever know. Like they don't tell anybody.
no,
So
that's
it's
actually facts right there.
yeah, right? Like so they don't tell anybody. They mask it.
Yeah,
But you
and
never know what.
literally, like depression. Sorry, depression's like an outfit. Like you put a face or like a mask. Like you put your face on for people and act like everything's okay, and then when you come home, you take it off.
Yeah.
So
Nobody ever knows what's going on behind closed doors.
yeah,
So that's when, like, if you notice the smallest thing with somebody, like just like, hey, like I noticed this, like, are you okay?
hmm,
And like that might be enough, right? That just might be enough for that person to open up, right? So like I noticed that, like I said, I noticed that with you. Was the most positive people are the ones going through shit.
and
Yeah.
it's funny because like I never really think of myself as a positive person, but I
Oh,
guess.
buddy. Yeah. I guarantee you, anybody who's watching this, they're gonna be like, yeah, the Oquan's always this uppity guy. He's funny, making jokes and stuff, and guarantee you.
Huh.
So
I'll keep that in mind.
yeah. Oh, don't start. No, you do keep that in mind. You're gonna be the uppity guy, whatever. Don't
Well,
try to
no,
mask
obviously,
nothing.
no. I'm not gonna. Next time you see me, I'm not gonna be like, "Yo, what's up?" Like,
Yeah, hey guys.
yeah, hey guys.
Like, no,
Yeah,
no.
no, no.
Your
No, no.
personality is what makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And like I think everybody, like, you have like a reputation of how you are. Everybody knows you from your personality.
Yeah.
So like it's a good thing. Like it's a good thing, right?
Mhm.
You're the kind of person that everyone wants to be around, right? The life of the party.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
that's funny. It's because people, if I'm not there, like, even at work, like if I like was sick or something, they'd be like, "Yo, where's Oakwan?" Like, it feels so weird.
I always get text messages from you guys. You guys are like, "Yo, like it's so different when you're not here," and like I'm
Yeah,
like, but yeah, it's crazy how much one person can impact a group.
yeah,
But we're all kind of like in a way, like we're all kind of like the same in our
mhm,
group. Like
yeah,
we're all like that. But like it's because like we're like family. Like we're a lot more like a family than we are friends now.
yeah.
Like we've been friends for like how long now?
Almost 10 years. I think
Yeah,
next year will be 10 years.
yeah.
So
So like it's pretty crazy. Like you
yeah.
got people like that in your life, like cherish that and like value that.
Hmm.
But yeah. I don't know what time are we at right now? I don't remember.
I have no idea. I thought I had the timestamp on, and it's not. So
Yeah, well,
um,
we
yeah,
if we want to wrap it up like we can. I know probably a lot of people are probably like we're expecting this kind of episode,
no,
but I feel like today was more appropriate for it considering that like there's only two of us here today and like
exactly. And
Andrew's
like, yeah,
Andrew, if obviously Andrew, you're listening to this, like feel better, buddy.
yeah. Take care of
I
yourself,
know,
bro.
I know. Like I said, if there's something going on, man, like talk
Yeah.
to us.
And
But
yeah, that's one thing with Andrew is like I feel with him, like you just never know when he's like uh
yeah,
depressed or upset.
yeah, Andrew doesn't show his emotion often, but
No.
uh, yeah, Andrew, yeah, if you're listening, buddy, talk to us
I hope he
because
listens because he's on the podcast.
he better listen to this. You better listen to this because
Yeah, better not come back 2 weeks and be like, yeah, I heard what you guys said about the podcast.
yeah. Also, heads up for you guys. So we're on like there's a different scheduling now. So it's gonna be like every other Saturday. We're gonna have our podcast going up.
Or filming
Um,
at least, right?
for filming. Yeah,
Wait,
like
is it filming or like putting it up?
like
Because
recording it. Like when
oh
we're all different schedules, so we can't record every single Saturday like we used to.
yeah,
So now it's gonna
sadly,
probably be every other Saturday, or if something comes up, then we'll probably figure that out.
yeah,
But for now, yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but we apologize in advance. Sometimes stuff happens, and yeah, but we're doing our best to make sure that you guys get uh, daily videos and our audio up, and like it's just kind of hard now with the scheduling.
exactly.
But
And also too, we cannot stress this enough. If you guys have questions, comments, topics, anything that you guys want us to cover, just please DM us. Please comment
yeah,
on our YouTube,
literally,
our Instagram. It's always up in all the videos, so
yeah.
you
And
can't hide. You
like I
can't hide.
said, thank you to Matthew again for the
Oh,
question. He was the first question of
and
the.
yeah, he first question of the podcast. So thank you for him. He always is a man that never lets me down. So thank you so much for that. And also, I got to give a shout out to Anthony Gallamini because he messaged us on our Gym Hall Rebels account on Instagram. And yeah, I don't know. It's just the little things like that that
Yeah,
means so much to us. It's hey guys, good job. And that's what he said, like, good job on the podcast. And he's watched every episode. He's caught up.
yeah. I know a couple of you guys have watched episodes daily, and yeah, like I said, we appreciate that. Like you guys don't realize how much that means to us when you
Yeah,
tell us that. Like,
because
I'm glad you guys actually listen.
it makes us feel like what we're saying and the topics that we discuss, and even me editing the podcast, like when I hear that people like my editing, it just makes me it just motivates me to do more and just
Yeah,
keep going. So
I'm glad you guys take the time to listen to our stories, and like you guys actually want to hear the stuff that we
yeah,
talk about,
yeah,
all the stupid crap that we that we talk about, and
yeah,
yeah. So like again, like thank you for that. Like when we first, like I said, when we first started, we didn't think like this was gonna take off, but
No,
with all the reviews and the positivity we got from everybody, like now we're gonna make sure that you guys get a daily dose of us in our
exactly. So,
yeah.
and then we're also going to be getting our Let's Play set up soon.
Yeah, we're in the works of that. So that guys, like, keep an eye on that.
And if there is a game for all the people that are gamers, if there's a game that you want us to review, put it down in the comments below, and we'll try to get that sorted. So
yeah, we're currently in the works of working out the location for that Let's Play, but I think we have pretty much it's set. We're just gonna figure out everything else, but we're gonna get that done soon. And yeah, so that's something to look forward to. So like Okwan said, if you guys have any topics you want to talk about, any stories, any games that you want us to play, then that's we're all open for that. So just let us know. And we'll have more of a goofy. I know this was more of a serious tone. You guys probably weren't like expecting this one, but we'll have more of a goofy tone
it's just to show that like we can always joke, but at the same time we can always like we're serious at the same time, and like there's issues out there that affects like our viewers and everyone out there. So we just want to let people know that like we're here. So
so like if you guys know our personal accounts, or even if you want to message us like our page directly, like if there's anything you guys are going through, like we're open, we're all open ears. So like we talk about it.
Exactly. If you just have to DM us personally, not even in our group account, if you have to DM us personally, do that. We are always here. So
and like I said, like now if it's not just us, like talk to anybody. Like
exactly,
there's help out there. Like there's always somewhere. So so make sure you guys like you talk about it, open up to somebody. Like there's someone always there ready to listen. So don't suffer alone. So and with that serious note, the two rebels the duo rebels we are out. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace out, y'all.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, unfortunately.
So
all right, so rebels out.
Peace.